Hey, Mark.
Hey everyone, it's Carl Holston here, along with Michael Bruno, Mark Shankman, and Judy Gunn, and whoever else may happen to pop on here. And today we're going to be talking about a few things, okay? A few things that I find, I think that are very, very important that I think a lot of people overlook, and I'm sure the panelists will agree with me. We're going to be talking about your daily core commitments in your business, because I think a lot of people today absolutely discard that, and that's why the majority of marketers today are not successful. Okay, and we were having just a kind of a short conversation just prior to the start of this about the industry and how it's working. You see, most people that are outside of the industry and coming into the industry, they're coming from either workplaces where they are a salaried or hourly waged worker, where they go to work every day, they have their 8 hours that they put in every day, and they're given their daily tasks or their daily core commitments that they have to complete. And during that day, they have what I would call, quote unquote, supervision. Okay? So they'll have a boss or they'll have coworkers that they will have to work with to make sure that these things get done. So they're reminded throughout the day, you know, did you forget to do this? Did you get this done? Did you get this done? Okay? So they're given those things every single day. They're given those reminders. And what happens is when they come to our industry, they now go from being an employee-minded person to now being the boss or the entrepreneur. They're the ones that are now in charge of giving those directions. Now the problem with that is that they're not used to giving those directions, they're used to receiving them. So for most people there's no accountability. Okay? And this is where I think the biggest fault is in our entire industry. We have businesses that start up almost every week in our industry. And they're all started by entrepreneurs who have a light bulb go off thinking that, man, this will be the next great thing. So I'm going to put together a product, and I'll put together a couple of capture pages, and I'll put together a basic way to pay people, and then I'm just going to get as many people into this thing as I possibly can and see what they'll do with it. The problem with that is those people don't know how to do a daily core commitment system or an action plan or a game plan. So what happens is you have the blind leading the blind, and that includes right from the owner. Now, not all owners are like that, okay? But the majority of them are. They're reliant on affiliates coming in, assuming they're knowledgeable on what they need to do. And it's unfortunate that only about 1% to 2% of any kind of marketers online will actually be able to put their own action plan together and follow it. Okay? There's even leaders out there like myself that's been in the industry a very long time. Sometimes I need my own action plan, you know, and sometimes I need to be told every once in a while, did you get this done? Did you get this done? Now, the funny thing is, before I go to the panel here, the funny thing is that it took me 30 years of struggling to try and get my crap together in order to make a decent income. You know, I've had good years and bad years on the internet, but it's because I've had to do everything myself. I've never had anybody really to work with or anything. I was always the go-to guy that everybody came to. And I would spend hours and hours on YouTube and buying courses and stuff like that, trying to learn things so I could teach my team. And the unfortunate thing is I was being taught by people who didn't know what the hell they were doing. Right? But I didn't know any better. And then I got involved with Empower Network, which has an owner who's been a 5-time top recruiter in 5 different companies. Okay? And this is a guy who actually has knowledge and a vision, okay, and has knowledge enough to put together a game plan for his affiliates to follow. And we have what we call our 8 core commitments. Okay? Now, we have our new Project Titan that's coming out right now, which is also coming out with its own 21-day game plan. Again, go out and look at all the new programs that are just started up or have started up in the last year, and I will almost guarantee you that not one of them has a game plan for their affiliates. Not one. Okay? They're going to have the typical capture pages, funnel system, you know, all that kind of stuff, their comp plan and their products, but what they're not going to have in place is a game plan to teach their affiliates how to market. Okay? You don't just say, hey, go out and buy some solo ads, or hey, go out and talk to all your family and friends. Hey, you know, there's a way you need to do this. There's a pattern that you need to follow, okay, when you're building relationships with people, so that you don't burn the bridge before you're able to even get halfway across it. Okay? So, you know, on here we've got an actual coach that's on here who does her own coaching. We've got an oral surgeon on here who actually has his own practice. So I want to get your guys' feedback before we go over to Michael, because I really don't know much about Michael's background. But you know what, Judy, let's start with you, because you know you've been in network marketing a little bit. You do personal coaching and stuff like that. So talk about what you would have to do, you know, for what you do on a daily basis, keeping yourself with a daily core commitment.
Okay, so I've learned over the years, I don't have anyone to kick my backside if I'm not doing anything. I'm accountable to myself, and I've learnt the hard way over the years of when you don't do things, things don't work out properly, and then you've only got yourself to blame. But for me, and even when I'm coaching someone, whatever it is they want to have happen in their life, you have to find out why. And if their why isn't big enough, it's not going to be strong enough to have them do what they need to do. They have to have a burning desire of what it is. Not like for me. Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep. Go ahead. I just have to mute something.
So I'll just use myself as an example. Like I've been on my own for now about 20 years, and when I left the marriage, I got nothing. And I got a $20,000 debt to pay off, which took me years. And I've struggled ever since. And I've got a lot of integrity, and I never wanted my credit to be bad. So I worked like a dog for years, doing all sorts of things, extra work and everything, so that I paid for things. I became a really good negotiator, so I didn't have bad credit. And so that's my driving force. My driving force is that, you know, people say, oh, you'll never make it, you'll never amount to anything. That's my driving force. That's my why. But on the other end of the thing, I've been looking for something. I did add it up, I've spent about over $60,000 in the last 10 years of buying things to make money and have a business. And, you know, I bought eBay, and I bought Traction Marketing, all sorts of stuff I bought. I bought coaching courses. I've travelled to other states to do courses. Like, I've done all that. So I've got all the skills. So why aren't I successful? So I've always come back to, well, I've got all the skills. Why isn't it working? And it wasn't until I realised that my why wasn't big enough. If you don't have a big enough why, you're not going to do anything. You have to have. You get up every morning and you go, why am I doing this? Oh, that's why I'm doing it. I know why I'm doing it. You know, I'm not getting any younger. I want to do what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to coach people. And this company, I mean, that's why I got so emotional about it, because this company is the vehicle that I need. This is the perfect vehicle for me. I'm a master practitioner in NLP. What is Will Wood? I mean, you couldn't get anybody better than him to teach us and to coach us. So that it was almost like everything went ping, 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 ping. And the contact manager, I mean, I've built databases with people, with techie guys, and saying, now, this is going to happen, and that, like, I know I'm a process person. This is going to happen, that's going to happen, and I need this to do this and that to do that. So when I heard about that contact manager, and you can call someone, and you can send them an email, and you can, when you're talking to them on the phone, or if you have any communication, it's all there in front of you, so you can follow up everybody, and it's there. So if you get somebody in new, you teach them how to use that contact manager, and it's there. So they've got a 21-day game plan. You pick that up, and it says, okay, I've got to send a letter. They go straight to the contact manager. They'd send the letter out. There's their list. I mean, it's perfect. And you don't have to have a lot of knowledge. As soon as someone shows you this is the program, and you click here and you click there and you do this and you send that, anybody can do it. But wheels work on changing our mindset and building our why. And when we talk to other people, we have to be really careful that we don't judge anybody, because we're all human, and we all do things, and we all make mistakes, and we all learn. That's how we learn. So for us to not attach our mindset to the outcome. It's the process we need to plug into. If we just do, like you say, if we do our 8 core commitments, we listen to this, we do that, we do this, we do that, and don't worry about the outcome. We just make sure we keep doing all those things every day and building our mind, we will be successful. There's no reason why we wouldn't be. I have every faith in these products, and I'm really excited about them.
Absolutely, and you know that's really what it's about. It's it's having a game plan to follow on a daily basis, and that's what that's what I find that we have here. So Mark, let's go over to you. I mean, you're you're an oral surgeon here. You have your own practice, so you have to be very self-disciplined on what you're doing. So why don't you let people know what makes you be able to do what you can do, not only with your business, but taking those same skills and putting it together in here.
Sure. First off, I just want to say to Judy, I hope Dave Wood is not watching this, because we gave away a lot of information and we just totally blew the NDA out of the water.
Well, to be honest, I haven't been given any information from anybody. It's just my gut feel.
I'm just having fun.
Well, we were still pretty careful. There wasn't much. I would have shut her up.
I'm like, oh my God, she's talking about it.
No, she didn't really let too much out of the bag. I would have shut her down. Go on, Mark.
No. So, I mean, as an oral surgeon, I have a schedule that I have to follow the schedule. I have to keep on task. I have to routinely read and, keep up with continuing education. I take a lot of practice management courses, and really, I'm gonna piggyback onto what Judy was saying in what it is that's your why, and how that allows you to become successful in any business. When I created my business, I actually bought out an existing doctor. He had a good reputation, but people didn't know me from Adam, and it's taken me a while to develop that reputation. And now, we're the preeminent oral surgery practice in the area, and that didn't happen by accident. That happened because of my drive, my vision, my why, and then putting people in place around me that could fulfill what I had envisioned. It's very much like Dave Wood. Dave is a true visionary, and he sees the big picture. And as an owner of any business, you need to have a very clear picture of where you want to go, what you want to do, and what you want to become. For me, I'm heavy into technology and in the medical dental area, and I have CAT scans and lasers and all this other stuff in my office, and I wanted to be known as a technology guy and utilizing technology to benefit my practice, but also, I have a big heart, and one of my gifts is being able to communicate with people very effectively. My patients feel the empathy coming through, and I've put a number of people around me that feel the same way, and you know, our goal, our mission, and everybody in the office knows it, is that when a patient leaves here, and this is a scary place to be, let's face it, you know, that when people leave, what I want them saying is, wow, that was so much easier than I ever thought it would be, because it's not a fun procedure ever, and if I can exceed their expectations, that's a win. So you know, and relating that back to this, it's the exact same thing. I'm driven. I mean, people see what I'm doing and why I do it. You know, I work hard in my practice. I work hard in this, but I do both for the same reason. I want to be successful for the sake of, I personally want to be successful, but also I saw Empower and Project Titan as a way to help people. I really have a burning desire to do that, and in surgery I can help a lot of people, but unfortunately I have to hurt them before I help them. I have to create some pain, I have to create some swelling, and then eventually I know when they heal they'll be better off than they started off. But what's great about Empower is, I mean, it's just amazing to be able to help people achieve freedom, you know, earn a living, and get out from under all these bad things that have occurred to them financially and personally, and be able to help them and you know, help develop them, and in the process make some money yourself. I mean, that was a no-brainer to me. And of course, we always talk with me, and my particular situation is time freedom. I plan on, you know, doing this from the beaches of the world, like, you know, Dave always talks about. I look forward to traveling, and I look forward to, you know, being on vacation more than being in the office. I love what I do. I will continue to do it, but much like Michael does, and I never really got into the whole missionary thing, but, you know, I'd love to be able to go to a foreign country and do oral surgery for, you know, people that can't afford it, and donate my services and donate my skills that I worked so hard to develop. So I don't have any intention of getting rid of this, but I certainly want to do it differently.
Oh, so DWB, eh? Doctors Without Borders.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that, Mark, because, you know, I think I like to share this kind of stuff, everyone, because it kind of gives people a different perspective on things, okay? Because, you know, most people are always just focusing on our industry. We need to make sure that we can show people both sides of the coin, okay? People coming from outside the industry, what they need to do to keep themselves, you know, committed to themselves, keep themselves accountable, and then coming into an industry like ours, which is absolutely important that they keep themselves accountable, okay? Because there's nobody else to kick your butt, right? You know, I mean, I can't phone you every day, so you know, let's go over to Michael, okay? And then we're gonna hop around here. We'll get to you, Scott. We'll get to Nicole as well. So, Michael, let's go to you. You know, I know your background's a little bit, you're going into kind of like the IT field or whatever. So let's just hear a bit about you. You know, whether you've had a job or whatever, what you've had to be accountable with your coworkers or whatever, to now how your accountability is. So over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Carl. Basically,
we're gonna need your money.
I haven't really worked a business in a corporation for some time, and again, you're your own business, your own owner, and you need to be accountable to it. There's no, you know, nobody else to come up to you and say, well, you know, you need to do this. No, you got to do it. You got, you know, you're the one who decide whether you're going to make money or not. Without, you know, if you don't, hey, you don't have somebody making money. You know, you got clients who may be giving you maybe month-to-month income, but even then, you still have to do the work, or still have to work towards to get that far. Otherwise, you got nothing. You're nothing.
Yep, exactly. Right. So, you know, I mean, we could talk about this all day, and especially me, I could go on for like hours on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
because it's so important that people understand that. I'm going to talk about two words right now before I get over to. It looks like Scott's on the phone, so I'll skip him for a bit and I'll go over to Nicole. But the two things I want to talk about right now, really quick, before I go over to Nicole, is going to be easy and simple. Okay, two words that people tend to use the same, which are completely different from each other. Okay. Simple means is that you've got a simplistic way of doing things. Okay? Easy gives a different aspect to that. Easy means that it's really something you don't really have to do. Okay? That's the kind of way that people tend to take things online. That's why when you hear, oh, it's so easy to do this, so easy to do this, people immediately assume, okay, I can throw money down there and really I don't have to do anything and money will just come down from the trees, or it'll fall from the heavens, right? But when we talk about simple in our business, okay, especially in our business with Empower Network, but this literally goes for any business out there. You can run any business that you get involved in online with simplicity if you have a proper game plan and daily action plan in place. Okay? Now that's the one thing that's missing in pretty much 99% of businesses online. They do not have a game plan. They do not have any kind of daily action plan or accountability plan in place. And this is the one thing that I love about our new program that's coming out, which we don't even know the name of yet, right? But they make us accountable. And this is something that really hasn't, I've never had that done with me in all the years I've been in this industry. I've always had a game plan. I've always had some kind of daily action plan, at least for the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, I've had that. I've never always had it. That's why I was never always successful. But you know, just in the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years, I've had a daily action plan that I actually put together for myself because no one ever gave me that. No matter what company I was in, nobody ever gave me that. So, and then I come here to this company, and they have a game plan for me right out the gate with the 8 core commitments. Okay? Following 8 core commitments, these commitments we have in this company can be used for any business, brick and mortar or online business that's out there. It's your standard core commitments of daily action, period. Okay? And then now we have a company that we're all involved in here that's spinning off of our other company. It's like a new division, okay, an entity all of its own, but is going even deeper into a training aspect. Okay, there's a lot more to it than that. But what the big thing is that's come out of that is accountability, which is something I've never had in this industry. I don't know about anybody else, but out of 35, 36 years, because I started in 79, 80 in this industry, no one has ever made me accountable. Nobody. Not even me. Which is the saddest part, because being an independent business owner, I should have known better. And this is why, you know, you'll have this, the 1% to 2% who are very super successful out there, because the moment they got into business, they made themselves accountable. And that's why they become where they are. Okay? You know, when I had my own business, my own personal offline business, I made myself accountable there. But for whatever reason, when I went into this industry, I didn't feel I needed the accountability, I think. And this is where everything, this is where the struggles come in. So this is why I want to compare with everybody what they're, you know, for those that have a job, you know, like Mark has a job, and I'm not sure if Scott has one, and I know Nicole has one. I want to make sure that you can do that comparison, because when you go to your job, you're made accountable, okay, to your coworkers, to your boss. You're made accountable. You have to do what you need to do every day. So, Nicole, are you there? Or are you just listening in?
I'm here.
Okay, so Nicole, I mean, you're in the customer service industry, so I mean, you've got accountability every single day, you know, to your boss, to your coworkers, to your customers. Okay, so talk a little bit about what your accountability is when you go to work every day. You know, what they make you accountable for, and then what are you doing now in your online business to make yourself accountable? So can you
I'm not even sure how to answer that.
The bus is coming, so just so you know.
I'm lost for words. I mean, I go there every day.
You go to work every day.
I'm expected to do a job, you know, for the amount of hours that they give me. You know, it's not even worth it. The reason I say that is because when you look at how much you actually getting paid a day, it's like, really? Are you really that worth? If I'm understanding you correctly, you look at the amount of money you're getting paid a day, you question yourself, are you really worth that much?
It really,
You're worth
it
a
really
whole
has
lot more
nothing
than
to do with the money. At this point, what we're talking about has nothing to do with the money. What it has to do with is when you go to work every day, whether you're working 12 hours a week or 20 hours a week or whatever it is, you go to work every day and you're given a set list of tasks that you have to do every day. Right?
Yeah.
So you also do this business. So what I'm trying to do is find out the comparison. Like when you go to work every day, your boss gives you a list of things you need to do, or your coworkers, or whatever it is that you got to be accountable for at your job. When you come online, are you making yourself accountable for the things that you need to do in order to build your business? Because that's where people tend to lack in things. Okay, that's where there's a lost in translation type sort of situation, right? So that's kind of what I want you to talk about.
If I understand you correctly, I would say you pretty much owe yourself. You owe yourself to yours for your own success. Whatever you do, what you choose to do, is solely up to you. Nobody's giving you, you know, a pull from the left or right to say, you know, here, do this, here, do that. When you do make yourself accountable for anything you do in your online business, you must tell yourself, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm at lost for words right now. You put me on the spot. I honestly don't know what words to give.
Well, that's okay, but you know what? You just with a couple of things that you said, to me, you kind of hit the nail on the head, because you know you talk about.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's just common sense. I mean, it's common sense for me, because if you're getting up every morning to go do a list of things, you know, you might as well do this. You might as well set those same priorities for yourself in your online business. Just the same way you set goals. You know, if you're gonna reach any goal, whether it be long term or short term, you know, you must tell yourself, you know, if I'm gonna do this, you need to make a promise to yourself. And if it takes, you know, you looking in the mirror or seeing any kind of reflection in yourself, you need to tell yourself, you're gonna do this, you need to make a promise to yourself that you're gonna stand by what you say. Because when you're given a job to do, you know, outside of your business, absolutely that's mandatory. So it should be mandatory as well for you to set those same priorities for yourself online. It's the same concept, if I'm understanding this correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. Now, I'm going to mention one 4-letter word out here, and it's a nice one. Don't worry, it's not a bad one. Okay. Well, I think it's the worst word ever online, but I'm going to mention it because it is used by the majority of people who fail themselves on the internet, and that 4-letter word is scam. Okay. I hear this so much every day, it seems like it's internet chatter, okay? And it absolutely drives me nuts because in actual fact, folks, it's less than 5% of anything you find online will actually scam you, okay? It's that small. When people say they were scammed with something, you know what it is? They never made themselves accountable. They did not have a daily action plan, and they never had any method of daily operation in place in order to become a success. But the accountability was the big thing, because they came online looking for the easy button. And for any of you people that are listening for that, if you have a Staples in your area, they carry that easy button. You can go there and you can buy it for like $5, okay? Whether it does anything for you, I don't know, but that's where you can get the easy button, okay? It doesn't exist online, okay? Simplicity is online, not easy, okay? And this is what the problem is. Too many people are looking for that easy button to make everything happen, when in actual fact, it just doesn't exist, okay? So I wanted to throw that in there because the one thing that you're going to get, and a lot of you probably hear about that, is oh man, I got scammed so many times. When in actual fact, probably nobody ever got scammed, you know. And if they did, it was probably a 1 in a million shot that they actually walked into something like that. In most cases, they scammed themselves out of their own money. Whatever they invested in, the moment they walked away from it, they scammed themselves. So Scott, let's jump over to you. Okay, I don't know if you've got a full-time job or not. I never really asked you that.
Yeah, I do have a full-time job, Carl. I actually like clean water. So I do have, like, in my job, I have a daily responsibility of stuff that I have to do. I have to take samples. I have to record them. I'm responsible for testing and recording results, and I'm accountable for that. It's part of my licensing with the state, and I just can't blow it off. I've got to do it. I'm accountable, and I think you can, like, take those things when your job. I mean, everybody that's had a job, you know, there's tasks that you have to do, and you're expected to do them. And I think, you know, with the empowerment, Empower Network, 8 core commitments, can help people transition from a job mentality of tasks to, you know, being on their own and developing those tasks. And then I think what's powerful about the Titan program in the 21 days is, you know, those 21 days, that's where you build your habits. That's what's so powerful about the 21 days is if you do research, I've done, you know, coaching and research on goal setting and stuff. It takes 21 days to develop a habit and to have that habit stick. So, you know, Dave, yeah, the game plan, exactly. So that's what's so powerful about the 21-day game plan. I mean, obviously our leaders came up that for a reason. There's a reason behind it. And that reason is if you follow it for 21 days, you're going to develop that core, you know, those core habits of doing those tasks, and then it's not going to become something that, you know, you have to work at or whatever. It'll just be ingrained, and now you'll shift, you know, your online habits to doing that stuff that's going to help you be successful. And that's their goal, and that's, you know, part of behind it. And anyway, I guess that's my 2 cents on, you know, the tasks and what you were talking about earlier.
Well, you know what? I actually appreciate that because, you know, again, you know, you're a water quality guy, so you're obviously accountable for that because that, yeah, you know, absolutely, that impacts many different people, which, yeah, in fact, everything that we do, you know, what Mark does impacts a mass amount of people because when Mark does something, when he does the surgery and he has a successful surgery and that person comes out, they're going to talk and they're going to recommend Mark and they're going to be, you know, recommending people to him. You know, if it goes in the other direction, then it's going to go in the other direction. You know what I mean? So it's all a matter of how you keep yourself accountable in everything that you do. With us as marketers, if we don't keep ourselves accountable in everything that we do, okay, our reputation will take a hit, either positive or negative. Okay? And whatever direction that goes in is going to be the direction that you personally slide in. Okay? So, now, when I talk about that, I'm saying, you know, let's say you go out, and we talk about this in our team meetings quite a bit. We talk about, you know, how we do our marketing. You know, if we go out and we're too aggressive in our marketing, we're going to end up having people block us or, you know, unfriend us or whatever. That's a negative pattern to go in. Does that mean life is over? No. It's like driving down the highway and you find out that the road is closed, but then you got an alternate detour. So you've got to take the detour and go around. People, when they go down a highway and that highway has a blockade on it and there's a detour, they don't just stop at the blockade and go, oh, geez, okay, I guess I can't go anywhere. I'm going to have to wait for the road to open. No, they're going to take the detour and they're going to go around, okay? So the same thing happens in our industry. When we come up against a blockade or a roadblock of something, your Facebook account gets shut down, you know, or your email address gets shut down, or your GetResponse account gets shut down. Does that mean life is over? You're done as a marketer? No. You find an alternate way, okay? You see, successful people are always going to find an alternate way to do everything, and that's part of their daily core commitments or their accountability. Because just because a roadblock comes up, you're still accountable. You're accountable to yourself. You're accountable to the people that you got involved in your business. You're accountable to the company. You're accountable to everybody. You impact all kinds of different people in everything that you do. And those people that are successful are the ones that make themselves accountable. Okay? And I need to talk about this because it's so important. I mean, I see this every day. I've seen so many posts just recently on Facebook that almost makes me want to cry because it almost sounds like the suicide level is so high out there. It makes me, you know, worry because people are going on a downward spiral out there and they need a lifeline. Okay? Now, is Empower Network the lifeline? I don't know. To me, it's a lifeline to many, okay, because of what we offer. Okay? We're not just a product. Okay? We're a valued service. Okay? And when I talk about that, I'm talking about what we already have in our training that we have within Empower Network, and then what we have to offer in our new company extension. I'm going to call it that. I don't know what the heck to call this thing right now. Okay? But which, you know, embarks on a further personal type of training that is definitely needed out there. Okay? I mean, we've got our group, especially in our group, Mark's part of it, and I think Judy's part of it. I'm not yet. I got to get involved with this thing here. Is the 22 push-ups a day for 22 days for the military, okay? Because you have, I know you want to nominate me. I know it now, okay? so I'll give you the opportunity, okay? But the big thing is,
Carl.
this thing is, it's for a cause, and it's not just for a cause for these veterans, because, you know, the suicide level is very, very high out there for veterans. But you know what? Believe it or not, folks, it's a high for people in general out there, because some people just can't take the pressure that happens when they lose a job, when they lose income, when that kind of thing. And pressure gets to people, and what happens is they can't take it. One thing I can tell you that, and I'm not saying we're the solution for that, but I have seen on many accounts where Empower Network has saved the person from suicide. Okay? And it's the products, it's especially the Inner Circle product that we have that talks about, you know, mindset, talks about personal development. And now we have this advanced one coming out, which personally I think is going to transition a lot of lives from a negative to a positive standpoint. Okay? And, you know, I talk about this because what we have coming, I've waited so many years for this product, okay, in many aspects. I mean, we got multiple products coming out in this thing here, but we got 2 core products that me as a marketer, I wish I had 15 years ago. Because if I did, my financial life and my personal life would be in a whole different place today than it is right now. I'm not saying it's in a bad place, but it'd be in a way better place. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of years because I'm going to be in that place because of this. Okay? Both mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Okay? Because that's what this is going to do. Okay. I nominate. Go ahead, Mark, say it.
I didn't know if Scott was going to beat me to the punch. But Carl, I nominate you for the 22 push-up 22-day challenge to save your vets. Well, not your vets, but save our vets.
I'll get her done.
Mark, boom.
There you go, baby.
So I'm on for that because you know, I'm all about doing that. I mean, I got a son-in-law who's actually in the RCMP, right? He's not part of the military, but they still defend our country in different ways, right? So I'm absolutely up for that. So do we have any comments on what we covered here today from the panel?
Comments. I think I just go straight back to what I've been taught for many years, and when I coach people, and in most of my coaching is done in small groups inside of programs, and it all comes back to finding out what your why is. You know, you've got a lot of people that have got to push themselves because they've got a job and they're doing this outside the job, so they've really got to have a strong why. Otherwise, they're going to do it for a little while and then they're going to stop. Once you lose your why and you lose the reason that you're doing these things, it's really hard to keep up the momentum, and it's really hard to do all your core commitments every day because you get tired and you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. It doesn't matter, I'll do 2 tomorrow, and then tomorrow turns over to the next day, and you lose sight of your why, so everything falls apart. And over the years, I've seen that happen so many times. I mean, I've done it myself years ago. And I see it happen all the time, you know, and people say, I don't understand, you know, I know how to do all this, I don't understand why I'm not successful. And I just say to them, you don't know why you're doing it. You don't know why you're doing it.
You know, you're so right there. You know, I'm going to talk a bit about, just for a quick sec before I get anything else from everybody else, but, you know, when you talk about the why, and it brings me back to Module 5, or actually 6, 7, and 8 in Top Producer. Okay?
Yep.
These are the 3 modules I listen to, 3 or 4 times a month. Okay? Because, you know, the one thing that is in one of the modules that David Wood talks about is one of the first questions he asks somebody is, why is it you want this? Why? You know, it's, why do you want this? You know, why are you here? Why is this so important to you? Okay? Because if you can't answer that question, then you're lost. And you need to find a way to get found. Okay?
Carl, can I jump in on that?
Yeah, you most certainly can.
So I actually did a blog post last night that really talks a lot about this. It was an Eric Thomas video, and he's just extraordinary. I love his energy. It's just amazing. But, you know, your why has to be big enough that when you run into those hardships, when you run into those times where you're down on time, or you're down on energy, or you're tired, or you're sleep deprived, or whatever, the why has to be big enough to help you overcome those things. If your why is too small, then you'll go, well, then I'll just do that tomorrow. If your why is huge, you won't allow yourself to do it tomorrow. You do it now. You do it now because you know you have to do it now. And another one of my favorite quotes is, a dream without action is just a wish. Your why or your dream is nothing. It's just imagination. If you don't put that dream into action, you've got to take action. When people talk about being on the internet and they're not seeing results, if you look at what those folks are actually doing on a daily, consistent basis, they're checking Facebook, they're writing an email, did you send it out? No, not really, I wanted to tweak it a little bit more. No, you gotta get the work in, you gotta get your message across to people. You can't overanalyze everything. You've got to put things into action. And when you start putting things into action, then your dream, your vision becomes a reality. It can't become reality without that. You know, Tracy Walker had an absolutely awesome saying, you know, ready, shoot, aim. You know, ready yourself, shoot, and then fix it after you see what happened with what you shot. You know, so you need to tweak on the fly. But one of the things that I see all the time in this business, and I've only been doing it for 4 months, I still consider myself pretty much a fledgling, but I think I got a pretty good grip on it, that people think about stuff way too much. You've got to get a basic idea of what you're doing, and you've got to put it out there. They always say, you know, the leaders always talk about what a leader is someone who goes out and does something before they even know what it is they're necessarily supposed to be doing. Yep. You've got to go out and put your dream into action, or it's never going to manifest. So that's what I would say, is make sure your why is big enough. I have a quote on my wall here in my office that says, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Your dreams should scare the shit out of you. They really should, because you know, you almost have to have a dream that someone will say, well, you can't do that. Who do you think you are that you can pull that off? I love when people tell me that. I love when people tell me, well, you're an oral surgeon. Why are you doing this? Why are you wasting your time at night? I'm not wasting my time. You know, well, you're not going to make any money at that, because that thing doesn't work. Nobody's going to do that. Really? I just posted my results. I've made some money. You know, more. You know, I love when people tell me what the average in Empower Network's income is. I love that. Yeah. Good. I'm already 1,000 times more than that. Like, you know. So, you know, you have to. And I'm going to talk about something that Will mentioned during his last transformational product presentation. You know, I love being able to envision yourself in the future. That was a powerful, powerful thing that he did. Just for folks to kind of get an idea of this, what you want to do is you want to think of what your goal is, think of what your dream is, what you want to accomplish, and then envision yourself in the future, not at the point at which you achieve it, but 5 or 10, 15 years in the future, and where you are in life, what that feels like, and then come back with that sensation, so that you can visualize yourself as the person who's accomplished that incredible feat. You know, if you want to be a 6-figure earner in a company like this, you want to envision yourself having been a 6-figure earner for 10 years already, and feel what that feels like, and then you will act like that person acts. You know, if you act like the guy that's just desperate to make his first sale, it's like we were talking about last night, then people sense that. People know whether you're legit or not. So that was a really powerful exercise that I found really really inspiring.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I love going to these sessions. I mean, you know, that's what I paid for. So I like going to them. I've been visualizing myself now actually for about 2 years, but that helped me take it to a different level. Okay, and it's awesome. I mean, I have a saying, you know, don't be ordinary, be extraordinary. You know, to me, ordinary is comfortable. extraordinary is uncomfortable. And you need to be uncomfortable in order to succeed in anything. You know, this is the problem with the most people. They are just too comfortable in their lives, and comfortable is going to make them a puppet of society. They will literally make others rich for the rest of their lives. And the worst part is, they're going to bitch about it all their life too. Okay? That's what they're going to do. They're the ones that come out and complain. Like Mark was saying, why are you guys doing that? It never makes any money. Well, because I don't want to be you. That's what your answer is. When they say that to you, I don't want to be you. I'm better than that. And if they don't like that, let them know why. Because you settle for ordinary. I'm extraordinary. Okay? And I get a lot of flack for that, but I don't care. Doesn't matter to me.
In the book of Think and Grow Rich, there's another book that Bob Proctor's program that he done. It's called Born Rich.
Yep.
And I do that every year. I've done it for about 10 years. And there's a whole section in that. It's not a very big section. It's called The Razor's Edge. And the Razor's Edge is, we're all ordinary people, but the extraordinary ones have the razor's edge. And the razor's edge could be just one little thing that you continually do that the other people don't. That gives you the razor's edge. Yep. So with follow-up, you know, if we continually follow up with all the people that we're talking to, not just for today and not tomorrow and then, you know, slapdash, but if we continually do it, that's a razor's edge action. And if we continue to do that, that puts us out in front.
Well, exactly. You know, I have a lot of people that come to me and they always go, Carl, how come you're always making sales? I says, because I'm not ordinary. I'm not like you guys. Okay? I will never be ordinary again. You know, that's why I will continue to make sales all the time. It's not because of my list. It's not because of that, because I don't have a big list. It's because I won't settle for ordinary. I settled for ordinary too much in my life, and it got me nowhere. Okay? The moment I decided to be extraordinary or uncomfortable, that's when everything changed for me. You know, I was fortunate enough a few years back, this is about 5-6 years ago, that when I started breaking out of that mindset, I started saying, you know what, I'm not going to be ordinary anymore. I was able to create $85,000 in income in 4 months. Okay? Now, that's extraordinary. But the only way that happens is when you decide to get out of your comfort zone. Okay? You are going to talk to 97% of the people you talk to in your life are going to be ordinary, and they're not going to want to change. Those aren't the people that you want to communicate with. You want to communicate with the 3%. Okay? And that's all I focus on. I focus on the 3%. I connect with people every day on social media, and the moment I connect with them, with their first response back, I can tell whether they're ordinary or extraordinary. Because I'm in search of extraordinary individuals. And that's all I wanted to deal with. Okay? Now, are ordinary people not worth it? No. Business-wise? No. Friend-wise? Of course. But for business, you don't want to deal with ordinary people. Ordinary people are the people, like Mark says, why are you doing that? You're never going to make any money with that. Right? And yet Mark is going, another $1,500 in my bank account, another $400 in my bank account. You got, what was yours? Oh yeah, $462 this week, $387 this week, right? You know, I made more money yesterday than most people make in 2 weeks. You know, an extraordinary day. And that's not the first day I had like that. I've had many days like that. Last month I had a $3,000 day. I made more money in 1 month or in 1 day than some people make in 1 month. I've made $30,000 in a single day. More than some people make in an entire year. I've experienced that. you know. But again, I'm extraordinary. I don't consider myself ordinary because I don't think inside the box anymore. So the moment that you can realize that you are capable of being extraordinary, that's the day your life is going to change. Okay? And I know on this panel here we have those people. Those people are here. On this panel, those people listening to this are extraordinary people. Why? Because they take the time out to find out more. We have many people in our team that are extraordinary. Some of them are still on the fence of being ordinary to extraordinary. But as long as they keep being plugged in, that's when they're going to change. And see, that's what's so beautiful about what we do with our business, with our business model, is that we keep our people plugged in. We keep them plugged into the 8 core commitments, to a daily action plan. And the ones that keep themselves accountable to that, these are the ones that are going to be absolutely amazing over the next couple of years, especially with this company. I'm looking so forward to seeing the transition that happens from people that are on this panel making, you know, anywhere from maybe a couple of thousand a month to 10,000 a month to 50,000 a month to 100,000 plus a month. And it's going to happen with the people on this panel, people that are listening to this. And it's only going to happen though once you decide to be extraordinary. Okay, so I just want to leave that thought with anybody. If there's any last comments to hear before we shut her on down, I know Mark probably has to go, but you know, if there's any last comments from anybody.
I just want to add to that, and what I'll tell people is when you can develop the expectation that you're going to be successful, if you expect it, if you do the work and you follow all your commitments and you do everything you're supposed to do every day, and you get it in your mindset that I'm doing all those steps, I'm following the plan, so I expect to be successful. But you can't say, well, I'm going to be successful in a month or 2 months, because that's not up to you. That's up to the universe. But if you do your part and do your game plan and do it every day and listen and read and do all the things you're supposed to do, and you expect to be successful, you will be. That's how the universe works. But you can't say, well, I'm doing it, or no, I want it at the end of the month, because you don't get to say when you get it. You do all the things you have to do and expect that it will come and you will get it, like we will.
Absolutely. That's exactly how it's going to be. Look, you know, I've been in this industry 36 years, okay? I'm an old goat in this industry. And, you know, the thing is that I've never always been successful. You know, I struggled for 25 of these years, but I'm still here, okay? That's because I never gave up on myself. I never gave up on my dreams. I never gave up on my plan, okay? The problem is, if you can give up on your plan that easy, it doesn't matter what you do. Your results are always going to be the same, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't care where you go. I don't care what business you start. I don't care if you do a brick and mortar or you do anything else. If you don't have the mindset that's going to allow you to drive to the end of your journey and get to where you want to be, you're never going to get there. Mm. I hate to give you this bad news, but that's where it ends.
That's true.
If I gave up on myself, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be in this industry for 35 years. As a matter of fact, I've been full-time since 2002, almost 15 years. Have I been successful all those? No, I haven't. As a matter of fact, I almost went bankrupt twice in those. But did I give up? No, it actually drove me harder. Right?
Failing forward, that is, Carl.
Failing forward, exactly.
Failing forward.
It drove me harder to do what I want to do.
And to piggyback on that, Carl, you know, going back to the why too. If your why is big enough, not only are you going to take action toward building your dream, but you're also never going to give up. You know, if your why is small, and you hit a roadblock, you go, this thing doesn't work, and you give up. Or, this is too hard, I don't want to do it. You give up. If your why is so damn big that, Eric Thomas on his video yesterday just spoke about his why is what gets him up in the morning, gets him excited to get up in the morning. If your why is so big that you can't get out of your own way to get started, you'll never give up. And the only way you can fail is to give up. You could give up a mile from your goal, or you can give up 15 inches from your goal, and you just don't know.
Yeah.
But you can't ever give up.
No.
It's what I tell all my team members. It's what I tell anybody in any business that I have anything to do with, and personal life too. Teach my kids. The only way you fail is by giving up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to leave with everybody here on the panel and anybody who's listening in is, if you've made a commitment to yourself and you've made you've made yourself accountable. Now, I had a guy that just registered with me last night, told me that he has 1 hour a day to do this. And I go, okay. But in that 1 hour, you make yourself accountable and you get done everything you need to be done in that 1 hour a day. It's that simple. And he's made that commitment. So here's what's going to happen, and I just want to share this all with you, okay? Because I was one of those guys that said, yeah, I only have maybe 1 to 2 hours a day to do this. And now I'm full-time at it. Because, see, once you do and you keep yourself accountable, you keep going and going, and the results start coming in, and then the money starts flowing in, all of a sudden you don't have an hour a day anymore. All of a sudden you have 2 hours and 3 hours. And the next thing you know, you're full-time. When you put a restriction on your time, it's because you're restricting yourself, okay, from either doing what you want to do, or your time management is completely out of whack, okay? There's something that is a higher priority to you that maybe shouldn't be. Now, I'm just guessing, okay? But in the case with me, I was putting a few things as a higher priority to creating a lifestyle change than I should have, and making other things such as taking weekends off, taking evenings off so I could, I don't know, watch TV, hang out in my backyard, whatever that was. Some people, that's what their lifestyle is, because they're still comfortable. Okay? So, okay, thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Now you gotta go back to work. Sorry, we'll have to change that really quick though. Okay? Take care, bud. So, I just wanted to share that, because I know there's a lot of people that are probably going to listen to this that are thinking that way, and I get that. Okay? Because a lot of people are going to think that way. That, you know what? I only have an hour a day to put into this. There's 24 hours in a day. There is no friggin' way that you're that busy for, say, I'll take 6 hours out of that day for you to sleep, okay? So now we're down to, what is that, 17 hours? Okay? So 17 hours of the day, you are not that busy. I'm telling you, I could clean my yard, clean my house, clean everything, and work a full-time job and still have time left over. There's no way I can burn 17, 16 hours a day. Okay? So that's me. But if you want to limit yourself to an hour a day, I'm absolutely fine with that. But you put every bit of effort that you possibly can into that 1 hour. And that 1 hour will end up changing to 2 hours, to 4 hours, to 8 hours, whatever it is. Because your results will change. Okay? As long as you have your daily commitment and do your daily tasks. You want to add to that, Scott?
Yeah, I just got one comment, Carl. That's excellent. I mean, I just address the people that, start out with 1 or 2 hours a day. Well, here's what I did. I was, busy with, I'm a single dad, work full time, but on my lunch hour, I was always plugged in. I always have an earbud in, on my lunch or break. I'm doing the inner circles. I'm, doing audio books, here and there, traveled, in your car. You can be, even though you're busy doing other stuff at the grocery store, whatever, you can be playing inner circle. You can be like listening to books. I mean, you can, if you time manage your thing and it means something to you, yeah, you might not be on the computer, sending emails, but you can be texting people. I mean, people have time, like you were just saying, there is time available. You just got to time manage, and if you're really committed, you will do it. I mean, even though you're doing other things. I mean, so excellent point, Carl, and I just wanted to add that to anybody that thinks they're limited by 1 hour. You may think you are, but you're really not. You can, plug in whatever you're doing, pulling weeds, whatever. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Well, I'm gonna share one last thing with everybody, because yesterday, and again, income disclosure, okay, see our results. Yesterday, I made 2 sales, which came to approximately $1,000. So $1,000 in a day. Okay, what I didn't share with people is what I was doing when I made that money. Okay. Now, I make myself accountable. I put in my 1 to 2 hours a day of what I was doing, but most people that know me and know what I do in the afternoon, I break for 2 hours every day. And you know what I do? I play my PS3. And I made $1,000 while I was playing NHL hockey yesterday. Okay, but it was all a result of the work that I did, that I put in every single day. Okay? Now, is that the first time? No, that's the 3rd time I made over $1,000 in a day playing my game, which makes me
play more video games,
my game a little bit more. Okay? So, I am an avid gamer. I play it. Regardless of what anybody says, Lawrence Tam plays his games too. He's a $2.1 million earner. Okay? So, can you make money playing video games? Yeah, you can. Right? But you can't just make money playing video games and not do anything to make that happen. Okay? The point I'm making is that when you make yourself accountable, whether it's an hour a day, 2 hours a day, whatever it is, you be accountable for that time. Now, the one thing that, this thing here is always by me. So when I play my game, my phone is, see, I just got something just came in. Now I'm going to have to check that. Something from Empower. Maybe it's another okay, maybe I made more money. I don't know. But the point is that I always have this, okay? So I can get on my Messenger or my WhatsApp or whatever it is, and while I'm playing my game, I do go on here and I check my messages and I respond to people and stuff like that, because I pause my game, I'll go in and I'll do that, I'll put it down, I'll go back and I'll play my game. But I always play my game, okay? I'm addicted to my PS3. Some days I don't play it, but that's my chilling period, okay? I'm not always on my computer. So, anyways, Judy, thanks for hanging out. I know it's 2 a.m. You got to run, so I'm going to be closing this down right away. But I just wanted to share that with people, that you know what, you always have time. Okay, I still worked while I was playing my game and made money. So, wherever I go, if I'm out at the grocery store, like Scott says, I carry my phone with me, and if messages come in, I answer them on my phone, right? Or I'll send an audio message or whatever it is, and a response back. I'm always doing it. I could be fishing. You'll find me this summer. I'll be sitting at the lake while everybody's in a cubicle. I'll be sitting on the lakeside fishing. Okay? You'll catch me there. I'll do some videos right from I've done it before. Many times I've done videos from the lake. Okay? That I'm sitting there. I'm going to be just like the Aldos almost, except I won't have a camper with me. Right? But I'll be doing that. And I'll be making money from the lakeside while everybody else is sitting in a cubicle, being watched over like a hawk from their boss or whatever that is, right?
Really?
I've just made myself accountable. So wherever I go, if I go fishing or I go to a sporting event, I went to a hockey game twice last year, took my phone and answered messages while I was at the hockey game. Okay? So I do that kind of stuff. I make myself accountable at all times. So you can't tell me you don't have the time in a day, even if you're having fun. Right? It takes 30 seconds to answer a message on your cell phone. It takes less than 30 seconds to leave an audio message if you don't want to type it in. Keep the video on there. If you've got a video that you want to share with someone, keep it on your phone like I do. And I go, okay, I can't talk right now. I'm busy fishing. Here, go watch this video. Poof, and I send it to them. You know? Whatever it is. Okay? So anyways, I'm going to let everybody go. I appreciate everybody coming on the panel here today. And you know what? Hopefully you guys got good value out of this here today. I think we covered a lot of good stuff here today. And I got to go do some push-ups.
Great.
I got to go do some push-ups. So.
Okay. See you, people.
Okay. Thanks again. Take care, everyone.